Welcome back to Cord Cutting Today, where we break down some of the biggest stories happening in the world of cord cutting, including today. Roku made over $1 billion in just 3 months, but is still not profitable. They have a path and they hope to be profitable soon. We'll tell you what's happening there, why this is a bigger picture of what's happening in cord cutting. YouTube TV restores some locals that went dark because of a technical glitch. We'll break that down. And Spectrum spending $7 billion to expand its network, bringing internet and television, if you want their cable television, to more rural Americans in more areas. These stories and a whole lot more coming up in a quick second. First, a quick heads up. I know I already did a video on this, but YouTube TV, at the time of posting this last night, at 11 p.m. was the deadline for the deal with Paramount to avoid Paramount networks going dark. Did it happen? Did it not? I always record these videos the night before. I don't know yet when I'm recording this, but it's possible they reach a short-term deal, reach a deal entirely to keep them, or don't. I'll have full coverage here and over at cordcuttersnews.com. Check those out with special videos and special news stories over at cordcuttersnews.com once we learn more. So check that out. But if they did go dark and you want options to get Paramount channels, we have a story in the show notes and in the first pinned comment with full details on how to access Paramount, all your options to do that. Speaking of that, if you want to learn about any of these stories, check out the show notes and in the first pinned comment. I'll pull a link to each story I'm about to talk about so you can watch them for yourself. Or read them for yourself, I should say. Come up with your own opinions. I'd love to hear from you. If you're new here, please consider hitting that subscribe button, hitting that thumbs up. Doing one or both lets YouTube know you enjoy what we do here, so they recommend our videos to more people. With that said, let's dive into it. Roku announced its fourth quarter 2024 earnings and reached $1 billion in revenue. I think this was the first time they've ever done that. Still lost like $40 million if I read the numbers right. I'm recording this right after they announced them. And lost money. So they hope, though, they said according to their press release, to be a full year of profitability in 2026. Comes as Roku's been pouring a lot into research and development, growing its streaming player, growing its advertising business. Now, one of the things you need to remember about Roku is that Roku makes a majority of its money from ads and subscriptions. Streaming players are a part of it, but for quite a few years now, that's becoming a smaller and smaller part is the physical hardware, the TVs, the streaming players and the like. Instead, the ad revenue and the subscriptions that they get from people is the main way they make money with this. Roku needs that. Well, you probably heard me talk a lot about the ever declining ad market, making that very hard. Now, they did say, they did see ad revenue grow a lot thanks to the election, but not enough to offset the declines and other issues in other areas. Overall, they saw a 25% year-over-year growth in platform revenue, which is now $1 billion, and they saw growth in their subscriber count, now with 9.8 million new, I should say not subscribers, but users, Roku owners and the like, 9.8 million more in 2024 versus the same period in 2023, with 89.8 million households now using Rokus with that. Now, that could be one person with like 5 Rokus or one person with 1 Roku. It kind of depends on how you look at, or how many they have. Overall, the streaming market is still not very profitable. It's just the way it is. Companies are struggling to figure out this market, figure out how to make it profitable for them, how they can impact this and offer a service that attracts people to grow their user base and a way to monetize that without being too expensive. Something that very few companies have figured out, Netflix being one of them. Roku has had up and down here. As they invest, though, they've been using a lot of investor money to grow. Now it comes down. They have to become profitable. We'll see what happens here. But for now, Roku losing money at the end of 2024. We'll see if 2026 is that profitable year they think it will be. That'll be good for them, and honestly, it'll be good to see Roku profitable because it means cord cutting is maturing to a point where it reaches profitability and stability, especially in pricing. We'll keep an eye on it. YouTube TV has resolved its outage. Now, YouTube TV earlier this week had a bunch of local CBS, the CW, and Telemundo stations go dark due to a technical glitch. That's not been fixed. It's not all, but it was a handful of markets that experienced this technical glitch. It's been resolved and the stations have now returned. If you've been impacted by it, good news, the stations are now back. YouTube TV kind of pointed the finger at their partners, the actual station owners, or some company they were using was the problem. Basically, it kind of said whatever feed they were receiving stopped working, and they needed to get that resolved. So good to see it resolved. All right, Spectrum is spending $7 billion to expand its broadband reach into rural America. Basically, they're going into new areas. Suburbs and other cities are growing, and they're expanding their network to reach that. They're also reaching underserved older markets that have previously not been served with gig service and Spectrum in general. This comes as Spectrum is continuing to lose both internet and TV customers recently, and they're hoping to kind of offset that by expanding the pie, by reaching more people, by reach 400 new homes in a new area, and let's say 100 of them sign up. Well, that helps me offset people unsubscribing. We'll see how that goes. So far, that has not turned the tail, or turned the tide, I should say, of their subscriber losses, but sure has helped. A lot of analysts have said without that growth last year, Spectrum would have seen their losses significantly higher in 2024. I don't know. Spectrum talks big about, and some analysts talk really big about being able to turn the tide and become positive in subscriber growth, at least for broadband internet, through expanding to new markets. I'm still not sure. They're facing heavy headwinds from 5G home internet providers and fiber especially, but other wireless internet providers also have continued to impact Spectrum in a negative way. We'll keep a close eye on this, but it's good to see Spectrum expanding. I like to see more options. The studies have shown the more options they have, once people have 2 or 3 or more options, prices usually come down. Things like data caps usually go away. It really does help the growth with that. We'll keep an eye on it. All right, good news for Android phone users. Apple TV is now available. I saw some people confused by this. Read the headline, didn't read the full story. With this, Apple TV app has been available on streaming players at Google TV Ones, Fire TV sticks, and app Roku's and like. Has not been available on Android phones. I think Android tablets also. This week, Apple reversed course and made them available there. As it's kind of one of those things. They were kind of like, well, they're our competitors. We have iOS. We want people to use iPhones, not Androids. So they didn't make it available. Now they're kind of saying, well, we have a streaming service we need to make profitable. We want to have people subscribe to it. We need to make it available on the phones they use. Still, Android is the #1 OS for phones in the world. So it's great to see them doing this. They're not the only ones that have done this. I'm looking at you, Amazon. Twitch has, for a long time, made it hard to access Twitch outside of on smart TVs. It is on Chromecast. It is on some different things, but they removed the Roku app a long time ago. I think it's about time they put it back. If they want Twitch to be successful, they got to be where people actually are. And Roku's the #1 platform. It should be on Apple TV, Roku, Google TV, Fire TV. It should be on everything, smart TVs, if they really want Twitch to be successful. Apple needs to do the same thing if they want their service to be successful. Continues to not be profitable, and its subscriber count has been kind of disappointing. To be honest, for the number of Apple users out there and the like, you would expect more subscribers. Some really good content on it, though. All right, next story up. PlayStation 5 saw sales hit a record and now has sold 74.9 million units for a PlayStation 5. This comes as in the fourth quarter of the calendar year of 2024, they sold 9.5 million PlayStation 5 units. Now, fiscal calendars are different. This is technically third quarter for Sony, as they have their calendar a little off to fully incorporate the holiday season into their fiscal calendar. Now, this is for all versions of PlayStation 5, Pro, Standard, Slim, whatever it may be. Now, gaming systems have long been seen as great streaming players. They have great quality, all kinds of apps, maybe not as much as a Roku, but increasingly people have not been using them. When we survey our readers, game systems have been falling in percentage used as their streaming player. People instead using the built-in apps on their TV or maybe built-in apps on a Roku, Fire TV, whatever it may be that they're using. Do you use a game system to stream or not? Do you use the built-in maybe smart TV? Do you use the a Roku or something connected? leave me a comment, let me know. I'd love to hear from you. And one last story up, Tubi. If you're a Tubi customer, Tubi now has 9 movie channels with classic and new and all kinds of movies from different categories. Tons of movies on demand and these live channels. If you want to find a full list of all the channels that Tubi has for movies, check it out in the show notes. Well, that's it for today. I will be back in the Core Cutters News typical studio back up in Michigan on Monday. I hope you have a great weekend. I'm going to try to pre-record a couple videos here for you all this weekend. But, hey, thanks for hanging in here with me as we're down in the Southern Command. Returning back to the main HQ and the main studio. Very excited to be back and get more going there. I hope you enjoyed this setup. I know it's less than ideal, but leave me a comment. Let me know if you're excited, if you enjoy this. I hope you enjoy our shows. We really appreciate your support. I'll be back here real soon. I'll be back in the studio on Monday with another cord cutting today. Until then, take care, be safe, have a fantastic day, everybody. Thank you for your support.